I am so grateful that we do have this community that give us the chance to talk about what's happening in our own societies back home. Maybe we don't have the luxury to talk about what's happening in our back homes. And sadly, people here in the West don't know the suffering of our people. Truly, there is a huge drama and thousands of stories never being told. I do believe early 70s, there is a story being published, of the lady that being stoned by the mullah's regime with the movie that being famous as Stoning Suraya, which it is sadly was a true story find her way to be published. But since that day, that bad regime being on the ground, it's been thousands and thousands of Surayas. That bad regime, sadly, like an octopus, like a vampire, put their hands in 5 different cities. Those regimes in Iran and their puppet regimes in Syria, in Yemen, in Iraq, and they go to Lebanon, and they was trying to put their hand in the Gulf region as well. And sadly, they're trying to go across all the borders to be with their radicals, people, and their lobbies to be even here in the West, to go to the European lands, United Kingdom, and the United States of America. It's sadly to see with all the luxury, all the freedom we do have here, we are given a voice for these radical people who talk to defend those people who've been killing and torturing people and sadly being the judge and the policeman and the enemy at the same time. So those people who've been killing all these thousands and millions, I don't know if you ever go here in the West, we have more than 12 billion humans have forced to leave their own homes and lands. Over 12 million dream and alive being taken away from their own roots. 12 million is just a name, but if I ask your permission to remember that thing with you, that's more than a population of multiple countries in the world. If you want to lay them as a line, they could be across the globe as a 12 million human. Now, those people, maybe you suffered from their regime through the media, or what you have heard the stories. We've been severed from them by handling the pain in our own violence and our own families. I don't know how to tell you how sadly I hate to give bad liberalize to people or giving sad stories, but there's stories must be told to let the people know about it. I don't know where to start. Iraq, sadly, we are the puppet regime of the regime in Tehran. You cannot take the fight to liberate Iran and fight the regime of Iran without kicking their puppet regime in Iraq. Those people, thank you, because those, those kids' toys, the rubber things, you press it from here and it will pop from the other side. You treat them in Lebanon, you find them in Syria. You treat them in Syria, you find them in Yemen. You find them in Yemen, you find them in Iraq. But I always say it, and I said it also last week, you cannot kill a snake by cutting the tail or hitting the tail. You need to kick the head, and you need to be strong enough to make sure when you hit it, you kill it. Iranian people being taking the fight for decades and talking Iranian position, all the lane of Iraqi, like Iranian and Iraqi position, we've been talking loudly for decades. And we sacrificed a lot. I could talk louder because of the pain mentions. You know, in the 20th century and the 21st century, nobody ever had go through what we have go through. There is no country on earth have been made a slaving market for women, by a woman being tortured and taken from her own house, to be taken from her own father's hand, to be a slave. And that's what did the ISIS and those radical people. And those ISIS and those radical mullahs and those puppet regime, you don't know where they killed Al-Qaeda leaders, where his Bin Laden family used to be live? I will tell you where. They used to live in Tehran. You know, all these bad ISIS leaders and the one who've been killing people since Al-Qaeda and Bin Laden and all these radicals, which you can expect, I'm sorry to talk like this, Sunni and Shia, but those radical Sunnis all getting logistic support and guns and weapons and places.
Your words are so important.
Training, logistic support, money, weapons, bullets, medical treatments, all being given by the Iranian regime. So from there, please include this year. I know it's price for the women. You know now the mullahs in Iraq, which is our puppet regime of the regime in Iran. You know what they do when we talk about that, like young women? Now they are making by law, a girl could be a 5 years old, could be getting married legally.
Yeah. Say about that. So obviously we need.
Yeah, we.
It's got to come back because obviously I've been to Iraq and to Syria as well, and I understand the complex and some of the countries and the wars and things, and sadly people pay the price. We've seen things now where the Druze community are being suffering and being wiped out by ISIS.
Just one more thing, ask your permission to be added, which it is very important.
One more thing, yes.
Yes, honestly. Now, when we talk, you talk about, let's say, some bad behavior from somebody, or let's say serial killer thing. People take it serious. But imagine that serial killer is a regime. It's a government. They are running a country. Mm-hmm. They are the one who write the law and pass the law in their own senates. And they're the one who make this legal to be killed as. We have thousands of women being taken to jail, one half of their husband who they are not found or wherever. Those women getting raped, getting pregnant, delivering babies inside the jails, and under the hand of the people who represent the government, who's the regime, they're not the government, but we can
feel the pain in our hearts when we hear you.
So I'm grateful for this opportunity.
And we thank you so much for coming today. We thank you so much for making this known to us, and we understand the pain.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I support you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.